Hey guys, so this is Bits here. This is going to be my first ever paint stream, and what I have for you guys today is a very exciting battle group. We're going to be painting Skorne. I'll give you a good look at that. Whoop, that's a little bright. So, I'm trying to remember the names of the models, but I know I got one heavy war beast here. We're going to be painting an HQ and two lighter war beasts. We're definitely not getting this all done today. I do work here in a few hours, so I'm looking at about probably 3 hours of assembling, painting, doing the bases, all that good stuff. So I guess let's get into it. Yep, very exciting stuff, guys. What's up, Exurban? The first thing I would like to get started on is I'm gonna go ahead and get all these parts sorted out. Let me move my mic. Get all these parts sorted out real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and shave off any of the extra bits from molding. See if I can get that on cam for you. I don't know how well it's gonna focus, but you can see that bit right there. We need to shave all that down. We could start assembling. I wanted folk music on, but Nightbot, what are you doing? That's annoying. Sorry guys, give me one moment. My Nightbot saw Pretzel Rocks post the link, and it gave my other bot a timeout. I don't like that. That's annoying. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Let's see its default commands. Huh. I gave it no permissions to do that, actually. Sorry, guys. Another moment. Classic Nightbot. Yeah, it's completely disabled now. It should not be able to do any of that. Alright, so let's get down to it. Let me roll up my sleeves, actually. Don't want to get any paint on anything. I'm so excited for this. Yeah, how do you like that, Nightbot? And get the super glue ready as well. Exciting stuff. Can't wait to get this all over my hands. I know it's already gonna happen. Move that camera up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Get this bad boy down. I just don't want to have to hold my hands that far out. Excellent. So, get going. Some of these lines are pretty pronounced. Now, I think I actually had an issue with this fitting in. Yeah, there was a massive crease there, so we're going to fill that with some green stuff, it's looking like. It was very upsetting because it was my first battle group, my first miniatures I had bought in years. And to have that much of a manufacturing mistake was just disappointing. I pay a lot for these miniatures. See where the issue is with it fitting. If I do that, the whole back's going to be exposed there. But pretty sure if we check these other joints, like let's take a peek with the head, that should fit really well. It fits pretty well. There is a pretty massive crease you can see there though. It's kind of upsetting. But see, there's something we can do here. There's some shaving down that could be worked out. So let's go ahead and trim that a little bit. See if that helped a little bit. Now I think it's okay to have some kind of a crease there, because it looks like his head's protruding from the armor. I'm very happy with how much attention, or how much detail this camera can capture. This looks great. Okay, so that's fitting well. I don't think there's too much we have to work out on the head. There are some cast lines down here we can smooth out. Oh, there it was. I think we're looking pretty good outside of that, guys. The head's looking good. This portion we did trim down a little bit. There's not much else we can do on that. See, I even cut the lining of this, hoping it would fit a little bit better. I definitely trimmed this down quite a bit. Maybe if I make some more space, you might be able to fit that more appropriately. Oh, that's... thinking that's for his base. But here's the thing. I am going to leave that on, because I am going to just stab that into the cork when I super glue it, but I'll get rid of the mold lines, cast lines. There's a lot of casting in here. Oh, I don't... Let's see if it will focus on that. I'm pretty sure you can see that line right there going up. That is not supposed to be there. That is just imperfection on the casting process. So there we go. Let's get that out of there. And that's exactly why I love using X-Acto knives. I don't really go for razor blades. It can really help me get in these parts that are hard to reach with just a regular razor blade. Smooth it out. Now I'm trying to smooth that out without accidentally creating my own shape. Just gonna rub it with my actual nail. Ooh, that was a good one. You know, that line is actually pretty prominent. That's pretty solid imperfection. Like, this model actually has a lot more faults than I would have imagined. Privateer Press... Well, you know what? Privateer Press, compared to Games Workshop, I noticed a lot more issues with Privateer Press's models. And that's not a bias by any means. I've assembled and painted both of them. Now, War Machine and Horde was my first miniature game that I ever played and, you know, worked on. So it's dear to my heart, but Warhammer is definitely my favorite. I learned it later. I want folk music, but I don't want country like that. So yeah. Oh, this headset sucks. Now, is this his banner? There's the Cyclops banner. Do Cyclops get banners? They do. They get 2 banners. But I'm not really seeing them in this pack. That would be upsetting if those just didn't come. Oh, I see them. I see the banner in there. Alright, we're looking good on that. It should be all his parts right here. There's his base, which we're going to work on cam today for fucking sure. I'm really excited for that. Let's continue just getting this model ready. Oh, I'm sorry. That angle's just not really the best. Let me... There we go. That should allow me to get... Yes, way better angle. All right. A lot of imperfections. It's just so wild to me, man, because like the exception for them being so highly prized is generally the I don't even want to say fair. It's supposed to be a really extreme amount of detail in the miniatures and in the resin quality that they choose. So it's a little upsetting for me to dig into this and just right off the bat have to like file down so much. I know we all deal with it. I'm not trying to be too negative here. It's just give me cheaper minis. Give me cheaper one. I want a lower price. Like, man, if I'm in the manufacturing process for this, where's my fucking money? I keep... let me drag this down a little bit farther. Cool, cool, cool. Sorry, this is a weird angle for me. I've never really had the camera this close to me while I work on something, so my apologies. Ooh, that was a really satisfying one. That peeled off really nicely. Mm-hmm. That one came out nicely too. Excellent. My favorite ones are the very thin, faint ones that I could just rub. Just put the blade right down on it and just swipe to the side without having to dig into the plastic. I really enjoy that. Now, if we can see, let me put the in between on these portions where the fabric attaches to this post. Some of these holes actually look like, well, you can see the resin kind of seeped out a little bit. I'm gonna leave that there because instead of it being perfectly flat and sharp there, it looks like a worn fabric, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm not really going to take that off. Awesome. So that's done. Now these hand casts should be pretty simple. They're nice and small. There should just be a 4 spot and then one long line that goes along it. And it's this faint, thin line, so I'm able to just scrape it away really easily. Awesome. You know, this does have a lot of really good detail in it. Need to give praise when it's due. This does look really good, the muscle on this. Tusks are just about perfect on the tusks. I don't know if that just got picked up on cam, but I totally just gleeked right now too, guys. Side note. This is looking really good. What is this little bit? This just looks like a miscellaneous piece of plastic. I don't think this goes to anything. It just looks like they put a plastic dripping into my box. I'll save it just in case I find out it has a use, but I don't think it does. Oh, that's funny. I do want to see how well that fits in the arm. Oh, that's the wrong arm. Oh yeah, this guy's got 4 arms, doesn't he? Fucking wild. Ooh, that fits very well. Oh, that was so satisfying. Oh no. It's a very spiky boy. Trying to pull this out actually hurts my hand. I want to see if we can pick this up on mic. Oh, did you hear that click? Got a little miniature ASMR for you. Back to business. Awesome. Luckily for me, these hand casts with armor plate only have one portion that needs to be cut out. And I don't have to pay too much attention to detail on this one. The clean cut. Looks good. There's a little faint line here. Man, that is sharp. That hurts. I apply force. Awesome. I want to get into the building. I want to get into the base, honestly. Very excited to work with the cork. Okay. Nice. Wait. Where would this go? Thought it would be something like right here kind of deal. Wait a sec. Wait. This is that. So this should probably go in the back, huh? Yep. There it is. Clipping right there on his hind side. Very much so liking this epic station. Sounds awesome. It totally matches my vibe. I'm gonna lower my chair a little. Nice. Getting there, guys. Getting real close to the fun stuff. Very excited for some fun stuff. Heck yes. Baby. Very vascular elephant man is what this is. Alright, that was it, guys. So, that guy is assembled. I'm leaving these little dudes in the bags. I'll clean them up last minute. Probably going to paint them detached from him. Not going to assemble like that. Now, hear me out. I know a lot of people dislike this. I am going to assemble and then paint. That's how I prefer to do it. Now, if I was doing this in a professional set, if I was getting paid to do someone else's miniatures, I would actually like drill holes in like the feet. I'd put it on something, I'd mount it, and I'd paint all around and then assemble. But this is just my personal battle group, and I'm getting back into it, so I'm gonna refrain from that. Alright guys, sorry. I was messing around with a few things right now. Alright, I was just checking out the Discord as well. So now it's time to get working on this base. Go ahead and get this tray out of the way. Now, I also got a few of these bad boys from outside, just some concrete and rocks, mainly concrete. I'm now realizing I have a green screen filter on, which is hilarious. So here's my crazy fifth dimensional rock bowl. I'll leave him over here. We're gonna take these guys out real quick, and we're gonna decide what we want on our base. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have that, I think, on top of some cork. Should have grabbed some sand as well. So let's have a peeksies here. We're gonna really get into the design of this one. Well, I can't really do that without my cord, can I? So went ahead and got a few sheets of cork here. Now it is a little thick, but I can shape that down. Ooh, this is exciting. And guys, I haven't been doing, like, I painted one figurine just in the past few years, and it was a pen that my fiance had, because it was the closest thing to a miniature, so I painted this little R2-D2, and it didn't come out the best, but I thought it was cool. Oh wait, the green on him is see-through because it's the green screen. That's hilarious. That's a cool effect. So yeah, I did this R2-D2, and so you guys are seeing me back fresh into this. Go ahead and take a tap, like a nice corner off this. There we go. See those edges that created? I'm gonna go ahead and shave some of that off, but it really gives it a realistic, like, earthy feel. I'm gonna take off a little bit off the top, so that shelf kind of looks. There we go. A little more natural, like rocks ascending. But here's my deal. I'm gonna make it look pretty irregular. I need to get rid of these black corners. And it needs to fit this large base as well. Let's do it pretty chaotically and just hope for a really cool design here. Just kind of let it naturally become something. I really am fond of this side. Now I need to work on getting the angle I want here. Luckily, cork is just so easy to work with. I love working with cork. That looks really good. What was that, baby? That looks really good. Try to get a better angle on that. Awesome. That's a really good shape. Really liking that. And we're going to give it its own color and all that jazz, so. Now I'm just sitting here thinking, can I put a stone on it? I could, actually. And then when we paint that, that'll all be the same. But we need to think about his feet and how that's going to line up. Can we get him taking a step onto this? Because that's going to be very important. Now that angle looks really, almost really good. There we go. Now that's good. Underneath there. That would line up just right. And I think that would let us. If I'm no, that'd be too much of an angle. But something like that, I would need to see how the rest of the body looks. But I'm going to go ahead and just not do the rock for right now. I will do smaller ones at the base that we can paint. Might even crush some of these. I think that would look good. And I'm pretty sure he'll fit entirely on this cork. He will. Get that glued down. Excellent. Real good. How far apart is legs gonna be? Okay. Could I have other bits of cork? We could. I'd rather have sand, though. Unless, of course, I add a little bit more cork on there. In between his legs. That would look really good, too. Trying to find a good piece. It's kind of already in shape, you know? We're gonna go for it. we're getting somewhere. We're gonna add some color to that. Once that dries up, we'll take the excess cork that I have and put it in the same spot as the rocks, because it's gonna be used for the base. Take all those little bits. None of that's gonna go to waste. We will find a way to repurpose it, and even then, honestly, we could take it, rub it down, grind it down, and then use it as like a sand almost between them. It would make an awesome texture. Definitely don't want to let any of this go to waste, because if it looks good, it looks good. I'm not really worrying about the price point of it. It's more so just like, why would you waste such an awesome asset for your miniatures? You spend so much time on them, and you like with every little detail, and you spend time getting better and better at certain things, and it's just like there's like little bits here. You can see really tiny bits that would make for a great texture on the base. Like even these little crumbs left from the cork. It's just, it beats the shit out of sometimes just going outside, honestly. I'll go grab some dirt and like shake out the tiny little rocks from it. And, you know, wash them off, let them dry, and then it's a good time. All right, let's see how well that base is looking now. All right, the cork seems to be sticking really well. I'm going to sip my coffee, and we're going to begin painting that base. That's really good. Baby, thank you for the coffee. All right, so I'm going to start by priming that. I know a lot of people prime in advance and they'll spray. That's all fine and dandy. I would do it too. I just don't really have the ability to at the moment, so I'm making do with what I got. This is very fun. I've been waiting years to get back into this. This is actually making me really happy, and I'm glad I get to share it with someone too. Never thought I would get into streaming. I do a lot of games, but this is cool to share something I know I'm good at and something like I have a lot of fun with. I'm just glad I get to share that with someone. Looks like I've been a few years at a game, so it looks like that needs to be much thicker. I'm gonna soak right into the cork. And it's okay. We'll see we get little bits of cork on the brush. That's all right. That was a little scraggler that was just waiting to come off. It's just fine. And for the cork, because of the texture of it, I like to glob on the paint and then dab at it with the very tip of the brush to help press it in. Super useful little trick there. Very happy with how quickly the glue dried on that. And honestly, the color we're going to be going with here is going to be so close to the cork itself already that I'm not going to be too concerned if a little bit of the cork does shine through. That's totally fine as well. Can't wait to start letting some textures show through with highlights and dry brushing. That's gonna look really good. I see some little spots escaped my black paint, and just like that, little spots were rounded up. All over this. And guys, the way I want to do this stream is it's just for a single model at a time, at least for right now. I don't really want to, if I get into producing them or painting other people's minis, I really don't want to show that whole process, you know. This is more just for fun for me, so we're just gonna do like the entire clipping, trimming, assembly, base building, painting of one model at a time, instead of doing all of the bases for all my models, then assembling them all, and then painting them all. This is just one at a time, so we can see a start to finish for one model. Okay. That's looking good. That's looking good. And we're also going to be painting around the base here. Well, let me angle that right for you. Here, but that actual trim all the way around, I will repaint black when we're done, so it's okay if some of this black gets on that black. Thinking we're looking pretty good here, though. So I'm just going to brush over it, help it thin out, and dry off. And we'll start adding other colors onto that. Sorry, I'm just blowing on it, trying to dry it up. What would be really nice right now is if I had some static grass. That'd be really nice for this. So I'm going to do some brown and red here, and then I'm probably going to dry brush and highlight with an orange and then white. That is a very thick paint. Oh my goodness. It's like a log. We'll get that. We'll get some water in that. Mix it up. I want to do just dab of red, but there we go. Work on introducing those two. I need to separate that brown a little bit. I'm about to introduce some water to that. Wee bit. Oh, there we go. Really nicely. I am really digging this music too. This is a good time. Try to get this brush dried off. Right, are we close to time? We're getting there. It'll be another second. But as it dries, you're able to see textures on it a little bit better. All those little wet glimmery spots are little pores that are recessed in and retaining some of that wet paint. So it does help see the texture a lot, actually. And also the Skorne themselves, the faction that I'm painting today. The part of the world that they come from, as you can see, it's like stone, slate, sand, some foliage, but it's generally like patchy. So like northern Central Africa almost, you know. I'm pretty familiar with doing bases like that because most of the time when you're doing mini wargaming, they're not fighting in the most lush environments. It's pretty war-torn and dry and desolate. So, luckily I have some experience with that. You know, for fun, while I'm waiting, I know I said I wouldn't work on a bunch of models, but these bases could get worked on. I mean, I might as well at least put the cork on them while we're waiting on that. That paint should be good for a hot minute. And yeah, we got 2 bases right here we could work on. So let's dig into that. Honestly, these medium bases, I think already got some cork right here we could work with. And it's long enough to cover that slit. That's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and measure the legs real quick and make sure that that's gonna fit the model. Let's take a look at their leg span. Ooh. So I just want to know why their legs are so long that it wouldn't fit on the base to begin with. Nah, that's gonna fit. That'll fit. Their feet will overlap a little bit, but look how wide those legs are. Why would you guys like that? That should be fit for a large base. He hangs right off. So it was probably necessary for us to put that cork on there to give him a decent base. Put him back in the right bag. And we'll get some more cork poured off. That's a perfect one. Really like that. I'm very happy with that. You know, this might be a good one for the stone. Might actually be able to use the stone. Let's compare the other model. I think their legs should be the same. This should be the same, exactly the same model. It is. So having him on that may prove difficult. Now, if I found a way to break that down, you could do it with overlapping a little bit. So it would catch that. So no matter what, they're going to be overlapping on that base. I don't think I'd be too concerned if he's just stepping off a little bit. What I am concerned about is having too harsh of an angle. Him stepping up there. But it does look really good. I am going to go with the stone. Let me make sure I can have it positioned in the right spot. And yeah, we're going for the stone. That looks really good. And it should dry much quicker on that stone. Get out our glue. And this time I am going to apply to the base and to the cork because I want to make sure that I'm not just pouring a bunch of glue down that slit. And then I'll glue the outskirts of this one, just the perimeter, because I don't want a lip that's going to lift up, cause a little crease there for when I go to paint. That would not be a good time. And while that's still wet, I'm going to wipe away base there. Awesome. That turned out really well. I'm very happy with both of these bases. A little bit of glue's coming out of there. No such thing as too many paper towels. Oh, I didn't even touch that one. Luckily for this piece of concrete, it's completely flat on one side. Excuse me. It's just not coming out. I was like, that's the end of it, man? And we're gonna do this one. Wanted to cover those slits. He's gonna step up onto it facing this way. Oh, that's gonna look really good when that's painted. And I think it's time to start the dry brushing over here. Let's go. This X-Acto knife. Put away. Oh, sketchy. Oh. When I put that on, the blade went through that little hole. It's not very protective now, is that? We're gonna do quite a few coats on this. Oh yeah, that texture really shows. I love that. That looks awesome. Trying to be gentle with this cork up top. Now that I have that primary coat, that base coat of black, I really don't want to accidentally take off any more cork and reveal the exposed cork underneath. I just realized I was painting that pretty off cam. I'm sorry, guys. Need to move my mic back a little bit. I'm sure you'll be able to hear me just fine. Can't really tell from cam all too well how well that just went on. I'm gonna go ahead and lighten that up a little bit. Then we're gonna start another coat already. Oh, that looks really good. Wish it wasn't so shiny for you guys. Mm-hmm. That is looking real good. So that light's a little bright, but we're getting a good amount of depth. Add a little bit of yellow now. Yellow, and then add a little bit red to that. Just gonna lightly brush around all of the perimeter of it, and all the rocks that are sticking up higher will catch the tip of your brush and highlight it to look a little more worn there. I love. So we're starting to look a little more like, let me let that. We're starting to actually look more like stone here. Once these glares wear off. So I'm gonna let that guy dry up a little bit. Let that dry, and then we can do a very hard white highlight dry brush on it. We'll start with this other base and get that primed up. I can't wait to have a decent Canon mic or camera for this. This is gonna be exciting. Some of these spots are really hard. A few more moments, but that's no. Lovely. Awesome. Alright, guys. This is dry enough now for me to white dry brush. Oh, that looks great. That looks awesome around the edges. You're not going anywhere, Cork. You're staying on there. Don't you leave me now. So now what we have is a pretty realistic stone at Cork. Once the glare is a little less persistent, and this decides to focus, you'll be able to see that it looks real good. Very happy with the way that turned out. Static grass would look awesome around the edge, but I think I'm just gonna black it out the whole rest of the base. Delicious chocolate or what? What do you say? Now we're going to go around this base with a black, and I'm going to call that it for this base, unless we find some minor highlights we can do. I did not go with the sand around the base. And that dry brush and everything's gonna look a lot better when we have a nice black perimeter around it too to compare it to. Oop, keep hitting you over there. There we go. Now that base is nice and cleaned up. Let that guy dry. Very happy all in all how that one turned out. It's a little disappointing, but I know you're not seeing what I'm seeing right now. It dries up. That looks like... Oh, that was a good focus. I get it to do it again. Yeah, look at that, huh? Okay. Mm-hmm. They're looking good. I'll tell you what, this rock, this concrete paint's a lot better than the cork. Because that feels good. The brush strokes on that just seem like there's not so much drag from that bendy, really like almost hard but like flaccid cork that was just I know I can brush a little bit harder with this, so really getting in all those grooves really quickly and easily. Don't worry about tearing any away. I'm going to dry this brush now and kind of excessively brush it to help it dry. Get anything out of all those pores. Mm-hmm. Some good color. Are we looking over here? That is drying quick. Very happy with that. Sorry, I keep taking these breaks, guys. I just wish I could immediately dry it and start working on it again. Um, let's see if we can revisit that now that it's dried up a bit. Oh yeah, now you can see that detail. Um, some of the spots are still wet in those creases where I put the black paint down. That's quite all right. Something I've noticed a lot of people do with their armies, like I've seen Kador, they did the red ring around here where you can see it separates from that textured bit. And I'm not sure what I would do with these guys. I think I would do something more of like a bone color around the trim. And I think that would make it pop a lot more too. And then I would varnish all around it, give it a nice gloss. That'd help protect the paint too. But we're looking rather earth-like. It fits their theme a lot. Coffee sipping, and I think we're going to start dry brushing the one we used the cement with. While that paint's still a bit wet. Oh, look who decided to come out. It's Brutus. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Good. Really good. You know, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this lighter brown in here with it as well. Very nice. And that's drying up really nice as well. I think I'm going to start hitting that with the gray, yellow, red, all that. That's gonna... Oh, yeah. Oh my god, I love that. Right at the end there, adding that texture is so satisfying. It really is. Mm-hmm. That looks really, really good with it. And you guys will be able to see that a lot better once press up. I'm gonna go around all of the edges of this, brush towards the center so it's highlighted around the base. I see I accidentally created a line right there, so we're just gonna pull that a little bit, make it look like it's naturally supposed to go that way. Oh, looking really lovely. Realize we missed some highlights here. It's still black. Hit that again. Dab it. Awesome. Really well. Very happy with that. This guy over here could still use some drying. I'm not going to mess with that too much. Once we're done with the highlights on all these bases, guys, it's going to be time to start working on assembling the miniatures. And I'm putting them on the base last, I think, actually. Just going to assemble them, paint them. And when I'm just about done painting, I'm going to like save up like a foot that I hold it from or something. And then I'll mount it and then finish the foot off once I put it on the base. Look at this guy's stubby little legs. Look at him. The thick boy. You know what I'm noticing? It's whole guy right here is a little scrunched up, and I don't like that. There we go. That's looking a bit better. Oh yeah, I think we're fine. Excellent. Let's get rolling. We're gonna, you know, clean it up like we did that one black, and then about time, guys. And that is looking really awesome. I just let the miniatures do the work for me with textures for the most part, and highlights on textured surfaces. It's a lot of fun. This guy, I think I'm going to add a little more yellow and white to. And let's hit that one more time. One more yellow and white added to it. Oh, yeah. And this would have just been some cement outside of my apartment door, getting ground down by tires till it became dust. And now he has purpose. Look at that. So good. Very happy. Very happy with that. It kind of, the rock there in the cork here kind of makes me jealous of how the rock looks in comparison. I'm gonna hit these guys up with a little more dry brush because I really enjoyed the way that that white and yellow, that look. Awesome, guys. That looks. I miss doing this so much. Oh. Gone. Awesome. Those are all really cleaned up. Getting real good. I think it's time to assemble some models, dude. What time are we at right now? Let's take a peek here. Oh, looking good on time. Ooh, I knew that was gonna happen. So I pinky right into a glob of super glue. All right. Oh, I did miss a trim spot on this in the mouth of this heavy war beast. No, I didn't. Okay, that was just shaving that fell in there. All right, looking good. Excellent. So, time for assembly. Where did that first super glue go? Use every last drop of this little dude. Dab the tusk in, and then take it out and wipe off the excess glue. And I've noticed when you start moving around the glue is when it decides it wants to start hardening. You know what I had forgotten to buy? I'd forgotten to buy zip kicker. That was very useful. I mean, as fun as this is holding this in place, zip kicker really made that quick. Oh, that looks really cool. That other tusk. Oh, that model just looks really satisfying. Those massive tusks. I love the elephant take on these guys. Like, having the tusks coming out of the mouth there look really good. Now I'm going to set this down gently. See if we can start assembling other pieces. Excellent. So that's holding. Okay. So, let me see here. Oh, okay. Let's see now if that... Okay. So, I'm noticing I'm messing around with closed caption on here. And oh, get chip dipped. Clean. What's going on? I I've never gotten closed captions to work on Twitch once, if I can be quite honest with you. Alright. So next, what do we have to work with here? We need to get the green stuff putty. We need to start assembling this guy. I would really like to get that done now. I'm going to use this as well as... Oh, no way! The green is just the right color. That it's just... nice. How are you doing today, Chip Dip? You been working on any content, man? Save both of these strips so we can put that back away. Haha, starving. I was like, wait, what? Gonna combine all this putty. So if you don't know what green stuff is, we take this yellow green and then we mix it with the blue. It becomes a really deep green. And we mix it together and starts to harden. Well, it becomes this putty that we can shape. And it's good for putting together parts when they have creases. Yeah, perfect shade of green screen. But when I put this together, it's gonna squish around and fill out all those gaps in the crease here. And then I can take my X-Acto knife and poke and prod at it until it becomes, you know, matches the texture of what I would like it to. I want to put the rest of this away before it starts hardening. Right, screen stuff being put away. Go ahead and start forming that green stuff, guys. Oh, I love that. It's just so green. It just... I should probably take that filter off. I love seeing it because as I mix it with the blue, it's all gonna slowly become green, and it just looks awesome. Ooh, I can feel it really starting to change consistency as I mix it. That's real cool looking. You can tell we really love doing this. We really love this craft if I'm able to sit here and do half the shit I do to make this look nice. It's taking the paint off my fingertips. That's nice. Gonna keep folding it in on itself. Getting warmer so it's more pliable. That's really convenient. Getting really close to the grain I want it to be. Should be fully... Yeah, that looks cool, but you can still see the texture to it. Doesn't even feel like I've been doing this for an hour and a half already. That's awesome. That's weird. There is a bit of delay, I just noticed. Oops. Alright. Now I think we're going to shape this into a ball. And then I'm going to flatten it out. And I'm going to coat this whole bit with it once it's flattened into like a circle. Try to spread it real thin. And then I'm going to trim off the excess that's left. That was actually almost perfect for that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and fit them into place. As it fills those seam lines, we get to trim that out with the X-Acto knife and kind of create our own texture, which is really cool because half of them see through now until I paint it. Before this gets hard, I'm going to start trimming. Very glad with how that worked out. It was the best case scenario. Yeah. I am so glad this worked as well as it did, because when I got that, I was just so disappointed to see that the model had, I don't know, it wasn't, the specs just weren't right. It just didn't size up. Cool thing is the texture of his hide, his skin, is perfect for if I don't do this just right, because, if anything, it'll look a little bulbous or a little, you know, well, just bulbous was actually perfect description, or wrinkled, because his hide is pretty rough. I can also sand this when I'm done. Very nice, and I'll just press that with my thumb, at least give it some kind of texture. Very nice. Flatten that a little bit. Sweet deal. Now that's assembled, let's feel the tusks on here too. Get the screen stuff out of the way so that it doesn't accidentally bond to anything else. Alright, that's on real nice. Look at this guy. Well, this is gonna look so good, dudes. Oh, it's coming together now. Very nice. I love his armor plating too. It's really good looking. You know what? I might as well not waste this green stuff. We'll reflatten that back out. Use it on his neck. As I did notice, there was a little bit of free space. I'm going to use the remainder of this super glue too. See how that bonds. Did I move the tusk? Okay. Good amount of pressure on this. I probably should have waited to put the tusks in. It's okay if they come out. It'll be easy to pop them right back in. That's awesome. It is coming together well. Very, very excited to begin painting on this. This dude is just so fucking spiky, though. It keeps stabbing me as I apply pressure to get things to fit in joints. Alright, X-Acto knife time. Mm-hmm. Went along real nicely. You can see where the green stuff was applied, and everywhere you're seeing that see-through translucent part that lets you see through it, that's all of the space that would have been visible in a crack that we filled in. So luckily for us, we had this on hand, because that is a lot of surface area. That would have been really noticeable. And keep in mind, he is going on this big boy base, so he's going to be standing up on this thing. All sorts of attitude. Excited. Yeah, I'm going to have that little rock right there on that side. Gonna, boom, that's how he's going to look on there. Very excited. Ooh, one thing I'm not a big fan of with certain models is just flat spots to slap limbs on. Like, that's just, personally, I like a nice, like, socket there, like a ball socket. That's just not obviously cast perfectly to where I think green stuff maybe needed to be applied there. We got very lucky that we had that on hand. Oh, my back. Get that green stuff off me before it turns into plastic on my hand. Does he have shoulder pads? I think he does. I just need to see what angle they go on. Points out. So basically, once we put those arms on, I'm seeing some little grooves inside here that this should fit on the arm and go over the shoulder there. Will you try scoring the plastic to try and get it to hold better? Scoring? I don't think I understand that terminology. Kind of annoying is, it has this little extra groove so it holds on, but there's nothing on the arm or anything to help it click on there. Using your knife to scrape flat plastic to create texture that will grab the putty better. For the most part, I don't have to, because, like, as you can see in these joints, all of them have grooves and are textured. So I generally haven't had to, but here on the arms, I'm gonna have to do something of the sort. Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, you know, make a little little pound symbol or something. I am gonna be using the putty and the super glue for that one as well. Wait. Okay, I see that little bump now. It's on his actual carapace armor. So that's gonna stick right there. Nice. Okay. I was getting really upset that I would have to do that myself. I'm like, how much of this do they want me to do, man? They need to start paying me to buy these models. I keep forgetting these guys have 4 arms, so
He's got this little adorable tiny jacked elephant arm down here too. It's gonna look so badass. Very excited for setting this one up. You know what's crazy? He stands on the smaller base really well. Right. Oof. I'm like losing track of what I'm doing here. So it's gonna be the arms next. And how am I gonna want to angle those? I think there's really only one way I should do it. Let's get to scraping, guys. Get that green stuff off my knife, though. Good to have sitting on there. All right. Oh, I like that pattern quite a bit, actually. Whoop. I slid up that way too easily. God, I love mini wargaming. Nice texture there. Oh, yeah, for sure. Time to do the arms. Well, thank you for feeling my stress for me. Someone else has got to do it. Getting tired of it. Back at it again with the green stuff, baby. Alright, is there going to be 30,000 other fucking things I need this green stuff for? I will use it for both of these shoulder pads for sure. Let's, now this should be way more than enough, and I'll have some excess just in case, and I'll just use it even if I don't have to. I shouldn't have to use green stuff, like, in this quantity, once I get down to the smaller models. There we go, that's looking good. Sorry guys, just need a little bit of coffee real quick. Oh, like the physical office? Like actually go to the office?
Ooh. Milk, were you talking about like the actual office, or were you just like stopping in to hang out and now you're about to dip out? Ooh, let's get that out of underneath my fingernail. That'll be fun. Oh, yes. Very nice translucent log. All right. Good. Time to start applying now. Make sure we get off good sizes for this. I don't want to trim off too much more. Little translucent pellet. Very nice. There's a little bit of plastic in this one. That's funny. All right. So I think the scrapes are better on the torso than the arms. So I'm going to go ahead and... Something I should have done first is applied glue to the hands and stuck those into place. Well, that socket's a little light. Now I'm gonna have to trim some of this green stuff off so I can actually see the angle of the shoulder muscle there.
So his right arm apparently goes straight out and left one's kind of angled down. It's looking like that's his right arm. Oh, it's coming along nicely. Oof. Very nice. Alright. This is a massive model for a little dude. That's awesome. Looks so good. And you know what? I just realized the green stuff on the top doesn't really matter because it's going to be covered anyway. Really cool with that. Good deal. And add those shoulder pads, and then the rest is just toppings, dude. We're about done assembling him. Oh, I hope I find a use for this other greens I put together because I barely used any of the excess. What time are we at? 2:11. All right, guys. I have like 49 minutes max left on here, and I gotta start getting ready for work. So we're probably just gonna get this guy finished up. Oh yeah, I did have a use for that green stuff right here on the shoulders. Oh yeah, that covered it up really nicely, and that armor's coming along. I really Really fond of the way this model looks. Oh yeah. Just look at this, dude. Very nice. Now he's got these baby arms to attach, and I'm fine with doing these guys with just super glue. Curious, I think this guy goes right here. Oh, that's gonna look so badass with that banner. I'm glad I'm finding all these uses for the excess green stuff I have. Not supposed to go down there. It's supposed to go like on this. It's gotta go on one of those. Yep, it's gonna go on those two. Very nice. Sorry, I keep holding that a little too high. Now who's ready for this crazy new thing? Arms. Wow, this is super annoying. Damn flat surfaces. Oh, no. How's it gonna stick to my skin better than super glue? The fuck? Oof, yeah. Man, look at that fort. Man, this man's looking crazy. I'm looking crazy, bro. Some of these beats are funky on here. Very soy-kissy. I love this. Dudes, we only have one more component. Guys, we did it. Completely assembled. No! I'm missing those little ropes in the front. So not completely assembled, but we're adding those on at the end, like I said. It looks fucking cool, man. Look at this guy. this on this base is gonna look so good. Eyes. Honestly, I think we're at a really good stopping point. I need to let all these putties dry, the super glue dry, before I start working on them. Which is kind of upsetting because I wanted to paint this stream, but I just didn't have enough time. This is going to be hours of work. So, I definitely don't want to have to stop at a weird point, make it to work late because I decided to work on it later than I should. So I think I'm going to cut it off here, guys. I want to say thank you to everyone that hung around. I know this is my first paint stream, so I wasn't sure what the turnout would be like or if anyone would be interested. And I'm going to keep doing it regardless of how low the views are. I'm having a lot of fun, and I like to document this. And I'm pretty sure, not everyone knows that I'm doing it yet. So, I can't wait to have this battle group painted. Looks so fucking cool. But yeah, guys, thank you for stopping by. I don't know if we had any new people in here today. If so, welcome in, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and chug this coffee and crush some food and head out of here. But yeah, I'll see you guys not tonight, but